What's up, War Rapport family? It's your man, Ike Jones. We are back with another edition of Facts and All, the rapid fire questions. And this time we are joined by another fellow Auburn content creator, our man, Kennard Vernon Stewart from Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. We are ready to get into this thing. Well, at least I am. Fellas, are y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get straight into it then.
All right, fellas. Facts and all. Freshman Lee Hunter will crack the starting rotation on D-line this season.
I'm going to go facts here. And listen, the opportunity has presented itself with Jeremiah Wright, who coaches raved about in spring, losing him to injury with an ACL injury there. I think this creates an opportunity for Lee Hunter, who impressed at times in the A-Day game and who people say have a lot of potential and talent. I think as the season goes on, he will crack that starting lineup and begin to get acclimated to the speed of the game and make an impact there for years to come. I'm going facts that he will crack the starting lineup this year.
I'm going to actually go facts on this one as well. I just think because, people say what they want to about J.J. Pegues being transferred over there. I think that indicates that we are going to have some situations where we're going to need more depth along that offensive line. Lee Hunter's already a natural fit in that space, so I think that he is going to make his presence felt and get into the starting rotation before the season ends. Facts.
I'm going nah. And not because he doesn't have the talent, but we've got guys who were here last year who also impressed in camp, who are still more ready mentally and physically listen, the defensive side of the ball, they kept guys ready. I don't think our defense is going to be as far behind as our offense. We will have starters. Lee Hunter will get significant snaps, though, and not necessarily late in blowout games, but we're talking the third and fourth drives of some games, but he won't be the starter. So, nah.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go nah as well because I think, Auburn has a lot of guys that they've recruited over the last few years. Tyrone Truesdale decided to come back, which I think Lee Hunter is going to be, really battling with him for that spot. But guess what? I think Lee Hunter is going to be a name that you're going to call on, but I'm going to go nah because he's going to be battling with a proven guy in that particular position.
Listen, fellas, I want to go facts on this one. The SEC grind is brutal, right? And being able to rotate 8 to 10 guys on your defensive line is going to be so critical for our defense this year. All the high-powered offenses that we have in the SEC this year, I expect through natural attrition that based on what we saw on A-Day, he's going to work his way into that starting lineup by the end of the season. So over those last 2 or 3 games, I think we'll see Lee Hunter starting on the defensive line. Facts.
Facts or not, Tank and Sean Shivers will not miss a game this upcoming season due to injury.
Gonna have to go nah on this one as well. I just think that, Shivers has had injuries pretty much every season that he's been at Auburn, though he's beefed up a lot. The SEC grind is difficult, and Penn State's not going to be any slouch. Tank was injured last season. I don't know how he is going to be able to take the abuse necessary to be a every down back like we're going to want him to be in this system and not miss time. I really hope that both of them are healthy the entire season, but I think it's likely that one of the two will go down at some point. So I'm going to go with nah.
I'm going to go nah as well for all the reasons already stated. It's a long grind, long season. Both guys have injury histories as recently as last year. Shivers for pretty much 3 years straight. Somebody's going to miss some time. Let's just hope they have enough behind them between what we haven't seen with Barrett and also Jarquez coming in that we don't drop off too much. But still, nah, somebody's going to get hurt.
I'm going to reluctantly go nah here as well because Auburn has a brutal stretch after the Penn State game to where depth is going to play a part. Auburn is going to be facing some of the best talent in the SEC, some of the hardest hitting talent. You got Georgia, who probably will arguably have one of the best defensive lines and will definitely test from a physicality standpoint. I foresee at least not Sean Shivers, but I foresee Tank Bigsby missing a game, a really important game down the stretch due to injury because it's just going to be brutal from the Penn State game going on. And we just got to hope, just like some of the other panelists said, that some of the other guys can step up to the plate. And due to our lack of, really true proven talent, that might be a trouble spot for us down the stretch.
Listen, I'm going to go facts on this one, and you already know why. Strength and conditioning is back at Auburn University, baby. Let's go. Brian Harsin got these boys jacked up in the spring in the weight room. He rolled in straight from Boise with the Captain America machine, and he is making soldiers, and they are going to last the entire season. They're not going to get hurt, but you might get hurt trying to tackle one of these monsters we got. So watch out. These guys are going to stay healthy the whole season. Facts.
I'm going to say nah here as well. I think the season, 12 games this year instead of 10. We saw what happened last year, both of those guys getting injured. I think when you get into the grind regular season, especially when you hit the month of October, you're going to see injuries begin to take their toll on these guys, and they may not play. Some games they're going to decide which games who plays or who does not. Hopefully it's not season ending or serious injuries, but I expect guys like Jarquez Hunter, Barrett to shoulder the load as we get through the grind of the season. So I'm going to say nah on this one.
All right, fellas, facts or nah? Auburn will have at least 2 players make the first team SEC all-freshman team this year.
List.
I'm actually going to go facts on this one. I already expect Lee Hunter to be a monster. Dylan Brooks is coming in. Hal Presley is coming in this summer with a competent staff that knows how to develop and how to put players in a position to make plays. I expect these guys to come in and contribute immediately. So I'm going facts on this one.
I'm going to go nah on this one. I think, the SEC has some of the, some of the best recruiting classes in the country, and Auburn is just not one of them. At this point, you talk about Georgia, you talk about Alabama, you talk about Texas A&M, and you're expecting 2 guys from Auburn, the 19th, the pieced together recruiting class that we had, to actually come in and have 2 guys that will be among the best freshmen in the country. I think a long shot could be Lee Hunter, maybe an even longer shot to be Hal Presley, but I'm going to go a huge nah on this. I don't think we got a chance.
I'm going facts. As a matter of fact, I'm going huge facts on this one. I think Auburn definitely has at least 2 guys to make that list, because as I said, we're already going to have some depth issues at running back. I think Jarquez Hunter can actually step in and fill that void or actually be a contributor to make that list. I also like, as we said previously, talking about Lee Hunter. I like him on that list as well. Brooks and Hal Presley has an opportunity. We'll just to see how they play as the season goes along, or if they get an opportunity to contribute. But the 2 guys I previously mentioned would definitely make this facts for me, so I'm going facts.
I'm gonna have to go nah on this one. If the question was will they make some sort of postseason awards list, all SEC team, but first team, nah. I don't even know if we have anybody that makes the first team. We may have some second teamers, but I don't think that we're going to have contributors to that level, freshman first teamers. Second teamers, maybe. Yeah, but I'm going to have to go nah.
Well, I'm going to say nah. And it's not because we won't have talented guys, but these awards lists are a lot about stats and games started. And I don't think there's anybody who has missed our spring camp that hasn't been here for the reformation that Brian Harsin has put on the team that's going to accelerate past experienced guys to jump up the depth chart. They're not going to get the starts. It doesn't mean they can't make the impact mid-year and later. They won't get the starts to get the notoriety to be on that first team all-freshman team. Nope.
Facts or not, Auburn will have a top 10 scoring defense nationally.
I'm going to go a reluctant nah on this one. I think that we are going to do well. I just think that the SEC now has high-powered offenses, and it's going to be difficult to crack that top 10. Even though there are some conferences that are going to have ridiculous offensive numbers as well, I just think it's going to be difficult for Auburn in our first year in this new system to crack the top 10 nationally in scoring defense. We might get close, but I'm going to go nah.
I'm saying nah to top 10, maybe the top 20. I think that's a more reasonable expectation. But like I said, we've got a lot of teams who can put up a lot of points. If it was 2005, I'm all over it. Yeah, but it's just not anymore, man. Too many people slinging it. So nah, not top 10.
I'm going to go nah on this one. And mainly because Lane Kiffin has entered the chat along with Mike Leach and a bunch of other really good offensive coaches. So the days of dominating defense in our league have somewhat gone to the side a little bit, right? You have to score points to win in our league. I think that the SEC West is one of the toughest divisions, if not the toughest division in college football. So holding guys to 10, 12 points a game, even under 20 points a game is really difficult to do. So while we may be a top 20 defense scoring next year, I think that that's more realistic than being a top 10. So I'm going nah on this one.
I'm going to go nah here. We're in the toughest conference in all of college football, and it's a conference that has shifted to offenses actually being the strength of a lot of teams. And so that puts a lot of stress and strain on defense to actually hold teams under 10 points like they used to do 10, 15 years ago when it was a run-oriented game. Now, I just expect Auburn to just be maybe top 20, top 25, still be a good defense scoring. Top 10, I think that's too much to ask in a first year under Derek Mason, so I'm going nah.
Okay, so I'm going to reluctantly go facts. I think Auburn has a situation where, unlike last year, you have you can kind of inflate this thing with the FCS schools that Auburn plays at the beginning. Now they're really going to have to show up and play defense against these teams because they're going to have to leverage this thing down the stretch. And another thing, Georgia has not really scored that many points against Auburn. You talk about 21 in 2019 and then 27 in 2020. So the only team that I can see that will really inflate Auburn, really get Auburn to the point where they give up a lot of points, it's only Alabama. Auburn's defense actually plays pretty well against their SEC foes, and they're holding them to limited points. Top 10 is a stretch, but I'm going to go facts.
All right, folks, we're at that time again where we get to our fan question of the week. We get you guys to submit questions on Twitter, and this week we have selected Swaggy P, who's coming to us and asking, facts or nah, Smoke Monday will be a Thorpe Award finalist this season.
Finalist means 4 or 5 guys, right? Sure, Smoke Monday can make a list of 4 or 5 guys. Why not? We've got the defense to make it happen. We've got the defensive coordinator. And again, I love what I've been hearing out of the camp from Derek Mason and his staff of guys. I think they have the minds to have Smoke standing out and to make him very productive. Let's say facts.
I'm gonna go facts here. Actually, I think that he has played extremely well, Smoke Monday, in playing run defense. I know there's a lot of work to be done in his pass coverage, but that's where Derek Mason comes into play. And I think Derek Mason will work with him. He will improve that aspect of his game, raise his draft stock, and actually be a Thorpe finalist this year. I'm saying facts.
All right, so do I think Smoke Monday is probably one of the better returning secondarymen in the SEC? Yes, but I'm going to go nah, because I believe Smoke Monday has a lot of technique issues that's going to come to play. He's had several games where he's been out because of targeting, and this goes back to when he was playing in high school. And I just don't think that Smoke Monday is one. He's not going to get enough looks. His technical issues will come to play, but do I think Smoke Monday will be playing on Sunday? Absolutely, but I'm gonna go nah here.
I'm actually gonna go facts on this one, because before you can have the fire, you got to have the smoke, baby. Derek Mason is bringing the fire back to this Auburn defense, and Smoke Monday is actually going to anchor what is going to be one of the best secondaries in the SEC this year. So with Drayshawn Miller coming in and more coverage on the outside, it's going to provide more opportunities for Smoke Monday to drop back in coverage, pick off passes, pick sixes, all that, baby. It's coming back. He will be a Thorpe Award finalist. I'm going facts on this one.
I'm gonna go nah on this one. If you had said Roger McCreary, I'd probably be there with you, because I do believe that he's our best secondary player and he should be a finalist. But I actually think Roger McCreary might be a semi-finalist. I don't know that he'll get up into the finalist list. But Smoke Monday, I don't see it yet. And I hope he proves me wrong. Listen, if Smoke Monday is a finalist for the Thorpe Award this year, our secondary is so lights out, because our outside players are going to be amazing. And if you've got a safety that's going to be a finalist too, that means he's ball hogging and he's downhill against the run. I don't know how you stop that defense, but prove me wrong, Smoke. But for now, nah. All right, War Rapport family, that is it for us on another great edition of Facts or Nah. Much thanks to our man Vernon Speaks for hopping in with us on this one. He brought the smoke. Kind of, yeah, but no, Mike G brought the smoke, but you get the idea. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right down there in the comment section, we need to make sure that you all are getting your opinions expressed on that. Tell us how you feel. Outside of that, we need to hear some more of these questions. So y'all tweet at us at the War Rapport. The hashtag is facts or nah, and we want to hear what you got to say, and you can get your question featured right here. Outside of that, the social media, you know what the deal is. We are at the War Rapport on Instagram and Twitter. We are TW Rapport on TikTok. That's it. We're signing off. Until next time, and as always, Warrior.